Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, boy, what a wonderful, beautiful day. And we have Sky to accompany us since Jackson's not here, so thank you. And Bob, of course, is doing his magic. And we will just get comfortable in our chairs, first of all. Just notice how, first of all, just notice how the chair supports your body and how it feels to sit with your bum in its seat and your back against the chair. And you want a relaxed posture, but not slouched, and you don't want too rigid. And just relax with your hands and palms gently resting in your lap. Palms up, I meant. Just gently. Everything in meditation is very, very, very organic and gentle. Nothing is forced. And I invite you to close your eyes if you wish, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, just averting your gaze down to the floor. And when we breathe in this type of mindfulness meditation, you breathe in and out through the nose. And so just gently, it helps if you gently place your tongue up against your upper teeth and back. Just, again, very gentle, very relaxed. And as you do this, you just breathe in and out through the nose like you do all the time. This isn't about breathing. We use the breath as a means to focus in the present moment. So we use the breath and focusing on the in and out of the breath to stay present. So I just invite you to, as you close your eyes, breathe in and out with your hands in your lap, palms up, gently upturn, very gentle. Mouth closed, breathing in and out. And as you do so, with each in-breath, silently and gently say to yourself, in. And with each out-breath, silently and gently say to yourself, out. So it's in, out, in, out. And as you do this, you most likely will have a few distractions, such as thoughts, or hearing something, or feeling a physical sensation or an emotion. And what you do is you gently and silently acknowledge these distractions with very generic labels. So if you have a thought, you simply gently and silently say, thinking, thinking, thinking. And then go back to the breath. In, out, in, out. And the same if you hear something that distracts you from focusing on the breath. Hearing, hearing, hearing. And then go back. In, out, in, out. And the same way with the feeling. Feeling, feeling, feeling. And then in, out. In, out, in, out. So for these last few minutes, I invite you, if you wish to, and only if it feels comfortable for you, to place one hand over your heart area or both hands and just feel that heartbeat, that flow of life that is circulating through your body. But only do this if you feel comfortable. And as you do so, you're still going to focus on the in and out of the breath. So you're still going to focus in, out, while noticing that flow of life moving in and as and through you. And when you're ready, very gently and very slowly, bring your attention back to the room.
church. Jackson's not here, so it'll just be me today, I guess. Here's a new song. You may have heard it before. It's very catchy. Let your love show. There's a reason for the sunshine and sky. And there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when your love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside. Send you reeling where love can't hide, and you go stealing through the moonlight nights with the love. Just let your love flow like the mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you know what I mean, it's the season. Let your love fly high like a bird on a wing, and let your love blind you to all different things, and let your love shine. And you know what I mean, it's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love light shines all around us. Let that wonder take you into space and lay you under its loving embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms your face, you can't hold it back. All right, let it go. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love flow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you know what I need, it's a season. Just let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine. You know what I mean, it's the reason. Let your love bind you to all living things. Just let your love flow like the mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you know what I mean, it's a season. Just let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine. You know what I mean, that's the reason.
I love this. I have goosebumpies. Thank you, Sky. Sky, isn't that amazing? Let's give him another round of applause. Yeah. And while we're at it, Bob and Clay and Richard and all the volunteers in our building that make this possible, let's just give them a good, we are so deeply grateful. My name is Reverend Tracy, and I am the senior minister here at Centers for Spiritual Living Prescott. That's a mouthful. But I just wanted to say good morning to you and those online. And it's just such a pleasure to be here today with you, and that you selected here to be on your Sunday afternoon. We know there's a lot of places you can be. It reminds me of that, on Southwest when the stewardess get on and they're kind of playful and they say, you could be anywhere on any airline, but you chose us, so thank you. So that's how I feel on Sunday. We are here to affirm that transformation begins in consciousness, and we celebrate the infinite potential that exists in each one of us. And this morning, I'm just inviting you to take a deep breath, settle into your seats, let your heart open with divine gratitude. We celebrate sacred community, a place where we can be seen, supported, and uplifted. Our spiritual journey, knowing that wherever we are meant to be there. For the unseen good already in motion, because as Neville Goddard or I hear it's Goddard, and Ernest Holmes says, when something is fully realized in the mind, it's already done. That's what we practice here. Ernest Holmes says the universal mind contains all knowledge, its potential for the ultimate of all things to come into manifestation. And what we seek is already present in the infinite, and our work is to align with it. So that's what we do here at CSL Prescott. We don't wait for change. We take the bull by the horns, and we take responsibility for our lives, and we are here to support you in that journey. Also, practitioners are here to support you in that journey. Practitioners, or you can call them spiritual coaches, are trained to see beyond the appearances and the limits that we place on ourselves. They hold the high watch, affirming your truth, and that all you seek is already yours. They study for a very long time. They get licensed. They got to do a whole gamut of things to be prepared to do that for you, and they are here to pray with you and to see that your request is fulfilled in consciousness, because when it's complete in their mind, it is complete in yours. Our practitioners are available afterwards for a 3-minute miracle where they pray for you. So we will allow people to leave the sanctuary, and then we will just ask those of you who want to have that 3-minute miracle for the upliftment for the week to just stay seated. And at the close of service, we will ring the bell 4 times, signaling that everyone now must really exit the sanctuary and just stay seated. Will the practitioners that are here for prayer and care today please stand up?
I'm standing.
So we have Sharon, Hazel, Mel, and Sabrina. So we are all here for you to hold that consciousness for you. And I just really, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming. And it's just, I can't even express my gratitude enough in a heartfelt way that what we are embodying here is a feeling, that we are bringing the feeling of love, light, clarity, joy into the manifested world. So we might not remember what someone said, but we always remember how they made us feel. And our aim, whether you're at home or here, is to make you feel that you are supported in love, light, and joy all through your week. And then you can come back next week and we'll remind you again. All right. So our work is not to wait for change, but to step into the reality that is already available for us today. And we are going to explore how to do that today. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so I'm going to invite you with that welcome to go into prayer. And just to know that as we go into prayer, we're knowing that exactly what Reverend Tracy shared with us is already here. It has been here, and it is already here. It is always present. And we just tap into that consciously with a joyful, grateful heart, knowing that we are here as that highest consciousness to celebrate the highest good that we are made out of and into, knowing that we are truly the divine offspring of what I call God. And knowing that we know that we are ever so blessed to be led on this continuous journey of this spirit knowing spirit on a deeper level by Reverend Tracy. We're ever so grateful for Sky giving us this music, and for Bob doing his sign language that's so beautiful, and for Clay giving us the tech, Clay giving us the light, the sound, and for everyone present here. And with this gratitude, I simply release this into love and law, saying, and so it is.
And so it is.
God is. I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is. I am. God is. I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is. I am.
Thank you, Sky. God is always coming to you in the sacrament of the present moment. Meet and receive God there with gratitude in that sacrament. And that's from metaphysician Evelyn Underhill. So each day I allow myself time to commune with my inner divinity. And I find space where time stands still. I find that in that sacred moment, I am grateful. So I invite you to allow yourself to experience a present moment as we sit in silence for a few moments. And will the candle lighters please come up front to light the candles? The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths humans take in search of meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of indigenous people everywhere and their close and sacred connections to the earth, sky, and waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For the goddess traditions, celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. So join me in this affirmation. I am here, God. My purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy In everything I do, the good I seek for myself is what I desire for all people everywhere.
So it is. And so it is. This is a sing-along song. Every time that I sing a phrase, if you agree with it, say, with my own two hands. I could change the world with my own two hands. I could change the world with my own two hands. Make it a better place with my own two hands. Make it a kinder place with my own two hands. With my own two hands. With my own two hands. I can make peace on earth with my own two hands. I can clean up the earth with my own two hands. I can reach out to you, oh, with my own two hands. With my own two hands. With my own two hands. I can a brighter place with my own two hands. Gonna make a safer place with my own two hands. Gonna help the human race, oh, with my own two hands. With my own two hands. With my own two hands. I can hold you with my own two hands. I can comfort you with my own two hands. But you've got to use your own two hands. Use your own two hands. With my own two hands. With my own two hands. With my own two hands.
Whew, that was awesome. I love when Sky's here. Isn't he amazing? Yes. So some news first. We do have a long-standing member that we love deeply, Miss Gina. And Miss Gina has made her transition in the greater yet to be. For those of you who don't know her, she is now traveling the ethers and holding us in consciousness in a whole new way. But Gina, you know, she was just an amazing spirit, a beautiful soul. And her celebration of life will be announced and will be coming as soon as we put all of those pieces together. But if we could just take a moment to just think, just even if you didn't know her, just sending love and light from your mirror of your mind to her energy that has left her body. And we just know for Gina, it's the perfect time to go. And we look forward to, and maybe in the future, her return in some form or another. So today we are talking about your prescription for reality. So Spirit kind of planted this idea as Walgreens texted me and said, your prescription is ready for pickup, and you have 48 hours or you have a few days to get it, or we will cancel it. And I thought, oh, that's such an interesting title for a talk. So officially it went like this. Your prescription is ready for pickup. Copay has been met by your pain and suffering. No need to pay. Side effects of taking this medication, unfettered by limitations of the past and moving forward to embody your desires. I mean, who wouldn't want to take the prescription for truth to have all of your desires met by your own doing? I mean, that's the gist of what we do here. So the healing prescription came from Neville, and as Spirit always does, we were tooling around last Sunday. We had this last-minute visitor stroll in, and we were looking through books, and Sudra picked this up, and somebody the prior week had called me and said, Reverend Cheryl, I had a video for you that you need to watch, and it was Neville, so I kind of went on this Neville Goddard kick, and this book ended up going home with me, and ended up being the talk. And I like it because the chapters are 3 pages long, and those of you who have ADD, the prescription is 3-page long chapters. But it is a very profound and deepening or expansion of consciousness and identifying limited beliefs, which is really what keeps us from the reality of our lives, right? Our illusions are based on what we think about ourselves and our limiting perceptions. So Neville Goddard's teaching on this, like any powerful medicine, it will only work when prescribed and taken, which is up to you. Imagine being handed the life you desire, a cure for suffering and limitation, but never picking it up. That is fine if you want more of the same. But what I'm inviting you into is picking up the new prescription and applying it to your life in a new way. Just as medications must be taken consistently to heal the body, the principles of consciousness, Neville's, Ernest Holmes, Joel Goldsmith, whoever your fancy spirit has given us so many ways to expand and unwind that there's someone for everyone. And we like to celebrate all of them here. We are very accepting of that. But the principles of consciousness must be applied to free your mind. The prescription, profound. Stop identifying with the problem. Sometimes easier said than done, right? I know it is for me. Shift your attention to the solution. We talked a little bit about this last week, that it becomes so ingrained and easy in us to give our attention to what the problem is or what's going on than to sit 5 minutes with the thing that we want, because something, a doubt, a fear, or some type of feeling arises that makes us easily distracted and pulls us away from our intention. So what I found that Neville had was a way that, to me, I've read him before, but to me right now, it came across as much easier because I was ready to hear it, which is how teachings normally go. So the question is, will you pick up the prescription? Neville Goddard says this: to desire a state is to have it. To desire a state is to have it. As Pascal has said, you would not have sought me had you had not already found me. You would have not sought me had you not already found me, which really means that in our consciousness, the seed is there implanted and we already know. How can we look out into this beautiful planet of ours and see that a tree is nurtured from its design, a flower from its design, a puppy from its design, and that we look at them in awe and inspiration, but we don't turn the thought on ourselves that if that magnificent, beautiful rose had everything in the seed that it needed and was planted and birthed to be beautiful, why not me? Is the question. Well, the answer is you were born with the seed of perfection. You were born with the light and the love and the beauty that all that you see in the objective world outside that we look at and that we bring into our consciousness and we admire. And the admiration of beauty is to really turn the lens towards yourself and to say, oh, well, if that is that beautiful, I am. And then to look at the limiting beliefs as to why you might not believe that is true. And that those limiting beliefs are actually what's stopping the law, which is, Canada. It doesn't care. Well, maybe they do now, but before they didn't care. But right, they were neutral. So the law is neutral. It gives to you unto what you believe about yourself. And some of those things we have talked about are conscious, and some of them are unconscious, but the ones that are normally impacting us are the ones that we don't know are there because that's the business of our life. That's how we go about our livingness. And the messengers are the people that we run up against. So Goddard says when we run up those messengers, what we try to do is change them to make us happy. And what he's inviting us into, like many teachers, is to allow them to be them and to check out your reaction to that so that their presence pushes you inwards to birth that seed of divineness, to live the life and to have the desires that you secretly wish for, or maybe even talk about, but don't know why they're not coming, or you're not bringing them into your experience as an equal opportunity, right? So we look at these things and we vibrate them into our experience, because law does and must answer you whether you are aware of it or not. So step one is there's a story that he tells about two birds. And the two birds are representation in Leviticus in the Bible, and the biblical story where a high priestess takes on the form of two birds. And the two birds are representation of your current self-concept. So bird number one is your current consciousness, concept, your identity, and the version of you that might be stuck. Maybe pain, suffering, or chaos, or confusion. This bird symbolizes the story that you've been telling yourself based on what you see in the physical world. So you are using your senses to basically agree with the idea of yourself. So we use our senses to, when somebody meets us and they maybe rub against us or something, we're using that to affirm our idea of ourselves. And how do you know you have a negative idea of yourself if you're not consciously aware of it? Is through your reaction to the person. If the rub is friction, defensiveness, and those types of things, then there may be an issue there that is for you to look at kindly and lovingly within yourselves by creating the new idea. So you may describe yourself as broke, sick, unlucky, or unloved. The identity, the problem, stays alive because your consciousness animates it. Your belief system keeps it in play. So Neville says the prescription is to recognize this bird, your current identity, as just an assumption. Like we make assumptions about other people, we make them about ourselves. And they become very real to us because of the feeling that is attached with a thought. It is not who you are, but who you have been believing yourself to be. And this is a tricky one because not all of those are in our awareness. Not all of our ways of being and moving and having our being are, to us, it's just the way you would describe Tracy, right? But there's this little itch that says, oh gosh, I think that could have been different. I think something needs to grow or change. We start to have this yearning to be more peaceful and in alignment without having any discord within ourselves. And we start to recognize this pattern of what I call grumpiness. Or maybe we overtalk when we're nervous. Maybe we share too much about ourselves. Maybe we're afraid to be vulnerable. So all of these things, these fears are pointing us to make a new idea of ourselves, which is representation of the second bird. So the prescription for the first bird is to recognize the bird in your current identity, to ask yourself, if someone asked you who you are in relationship to your struggle, what would you say? Who you are in relationship to the struggle. And then you write down your current self-identification in a single sentence. This is your first bird. By the way, the journal sheets are out there, and it's on the full expression of this chapter. I've cut it short for time. But Neville Goddard wants to support you in this. And he says, man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness, sorry, can't talk today. His consciousness objectified, meaning your consciousness, your belief system, what you believe about yourself is the way you move and have your being in the world. And to change your world, you must change your consciousness, right? And well, how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of ways to do it and a lot of directions, and based on your personality and the way you move in the world and your constitution. And what I always invite people is, if you feel that it's time to move, if you feel that it's time to grow, what I like to call, if you're sick of yourself, then you ask Spirit, you ask your higher self to show you, to bring you the teacher, and it will bring it to you in form, person, place, thing, book, movie. There are so many ways, like getting a phone call from your mentor and saying, hey, I don't know why, but I think you should watch this video. And the name of the video was Let Them Hate You, because I'm a people pleaser and I do not like to disappoint people. So when I was listening to this video, I saw myself and the things that I need to take into my consciousness to expand and grow. And that's what I'm inviting you to do, is to ask the question, to expand your consciousness, because the way we are is nobody's fault. We've taken these things on, as we've said in many talks, as ways to feel safe, safety mechanisms, conditioning, genetics. But the one thing that I know for sure is the only person that knows that they're ready for change and growth in your life, to have your desire, whether it be health, money, job, whatever, promotion, is that you must know the feeling of that, be able to use your imagination to vision that, and to bring it into the desired experience. Because law matches your feeling, not just your words. And we have to be able to sit with our imagination. So in the story of the birds, he says 7 days. In 7 days. So what they do in the story is they kill the first bird, because we're killing our old identity. And we're dipping it in the blood of the new, right? We dip the new bird in the blood, meaning we assume, we don't forget our past. We don't curse it. We don't say, bad past, get away, I never want to be that. We have acceptance of it. We bring love into our heart. And we allow Spirit to purify the thoughts we have about it, so it is no longer part of our belief system. So for 7 days we sit, at least for 5 minutes, seeing what we want as already having, and how would it feel? So Fish and I were driving up, and we were doing this experiment, because, sometimes when we get to talking, we forget where we are. And we left Cordish Junction, and I was like, Fish, I think we're going to Flagstaff. And I had to be here for Sabrina's beautiful event, and there's no turnaround. I mean, whoever makes these roads, can we send them an email that there are people that miss the turn and they need to turn around? You don't have to get all the way to Flagstaff. Otherwise, it takes 40 minutes. So I am like, my conditioning and personality is coming out, and she's like, I'm so sorry. And I go, it's not your fault. It's okay. We were reading this book, the three little pages, and I go, oh no, we can't read that book and then pretend like we didn't. I am closing my eyes and walking into this building, and everybody goes, we're so happy to see you. As I was creating it, and I said, Fish, what would that feel like? And we went through all these words, and what we found is that we gave descriptions of things, but we didn't really get to the feeling. And then I go, no, that's a descriptor. That's a descriptor. And I go, oh, you know what? It's like eating a grilled cheese with tomato soup on a snowy day. And she's like, oh, that's gluten. I'm like, cut it out. You've eaten grilled cheeses. We've had them together. And then she said, I go, oh, a warm hug from your mom, right? Or if you didn't get along with your mom, somebody you love, and that feeling that you know it. We've all had it at some point in our life, or you wouldn't be in a place like this. And then you embody that feeling, and that feeling tells the universe, more, please. More, please. That's what Esty says. She sits in her high chair. She's learning to talk. And she points to the tray and goes, please, more, please. and that's what we're telling the universe. More, please. And we can feel it because we get goosebumps. And our imagination, as Neville said, doesn't know the difference between your reality and reality itself, what's in the objective world. Everything to it is real, and it is using you to bring into form your greatest idea. You are an aspect of the divine, and the divine must fill itself through you. And how it's fulfilling itself through you is the attention that you are giving to everything that you want and everything that you don't have. And if we fall into the victimization, guess what we're going to get more of? More experiences of that. And you know what is so profound? Is it's not right, wrong, good, bad, or indifferent. We don't have to shame or blame or scold ourselves. We don't have to do any of that. We can just go, look at that. I see it now. And we can let it go and try something new. And guess what? As my teacher said, if you don't get it right, just aim the arrow and shoot again. Nobody knows, unless you're like me who overshares and tells everybody, I tried, it didn't work, I tried again. And that's okay too, because part of being vulnerable and sharing your experiences creates the atmosphere of losing fear itself to be in a community like this. So killing the first bird and releasing the old one is the ritual. The priest kills the bird, drains the blood, and Neville explains that the blood, again, is our representation of our consciousness. So when we kill the bird, we withdraw from our attention from our old belief. We stop feeding it with emotion and energy, and it begins to dissolve, and our prescription becomes shift your attention away from the problem. And when those old thoughts arise, and they will, do not argue with them. Nope. Simply disengaged and refocus. Now that is easier said than done, especially if you have the rumbly tumbly that keeps going. I can get rid of the thought, but I can't get rid of the feeling in my body. Breathing. So if it's an energetic feeling in your body, breathing is the prescription. If it's a mental activity, can be a prescription. Breathing can be a prescription. Using an affirmation can be a prescription. But if you want to release the bird, what limiting belief must I stop entertaining? What limiting belief you might not know. And this is where journaling comes, because our subconscious comes through our writing. Write one thought down that you no longer affirm about yourself. Just start with one. Goddard says, the moment you accept the wish as an accomplished fact, the subconscious finds the means for it to be realized. The how is none of your business. By the way, because of our, beautiful sacred universe, it doesn't even reveal the how. That's why they call it miracles. But the miracle is actually you sitting and giving the time to yourself, to the solution, as much as you do the problem. Right? We have to start telling the truth about these things. The third step, the second bird, is now we're imprinted with the new identity. So what does this mean? This means that you take the essence of your old story and you use it to create the new assumption. The pain of our past is not wasted. It is the foundation for you to transform. The second bird represents the healed, free, limitless version of you. Doesn't that sound good? The free, limitless version of you. Your true and highest self. The prescription, choose a new identity. Who are you after healing? Know it, feel it, believe it. Ask yourself, if my struggle was completely resolved, who would I be? Who would you be without that problem? Do you know? That's the fun of life. It's an experience. It's a discovery. But when it's painful, life seems so drudgery, and we just want it to kind of sometimes be over. And the fact that we just, oh man. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm in my misery, sadness, victimization, I'm like, can the end get here already? Not that I want to make the end, but I have this feeling of it's just going to take so long and forever, and I just want it to be over, especially if you're going through a really difficult diagnosis of some kind. But the truth is you get to reinvent that in your mind too, because the law doesn't know anything other than what you are giving it with your power, attention, and focus. So you truly are a magnificent being. You truly are the miracle. The day you were born, it was given to you the power to have the life you want, and someone came along and told you you couldn't have it. Boo them. Hopefully they're sitting in a center somewhere too, learning the truth. But this process lets you release them. And you get to have the glory, the power, right, of your own identity, of your own growth. You get to step into the thing that we're always talking about, because no one's going to give it to you. Trust me, I've had 5 teachers and none of them gave it to me. I had to work for that. It is not easy. And teachers are helpful, but they cannot just tap you on the head and bam, it's there. No, you've got to dig into those feelings, bring them up to the light of the day, bring them home to the heart, and allow that transformation, that new identity. You've got to know what you want. My current teacher always says to me, Tracy, what do you want? I couldn't answer that question for 3 years. 3 years I couldn't answer that question. Some days I still can't, but I do think about it, and I get to the feeling sometimes before the answer. So Neville Goddard says this: dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. You are the movie star in your own play, and we are all characters. And you don't, I bump up against you, well, guess what? You don't have to, I got it here. You don't have to change me. You have to change your mind about me. You just have to see how you want it and watch the miracle occur. Step 4, winding up. Freeing the second bird is living in the end. The final step of the ritual is releasing the second bird into an open field on the 7th day. And this means that you must fully accept and embody your new identity without waiting for external proof. So you can't just want $100 and then check your bank account every day to see if somebody put it in there. It doesn't work that way, because that's called, trust and doubt. And so these are the things that usually keep us from our fulfillment, is when we sit down to think about who we want, what we want, that feeling comes up, and we put a name to it. It's called worthiness. If we put a name to it, it's I don't know how. If we put a name to it, it's, oh, this takes a long time. I ain't got 5 minutes. I got to answer the phone. Oh, I have to cook dinner. Oh, I have to take care of kids. This is your life, your dream, your reality. Give it the passion and the love that it deserves, because no one's going to do it for you. But when it happens through direct experience, you become the megaphone for spirit. Isn't that interesting how spirit did that? It gives to you so you can be magnetic and invite other people into your experience, and then share at the appropriate time with them, or just invite them to a place like this and let spirit bring them home. That's what we're doing. We're bringing you home. Many people do the inner work but remain stuck because they check for results instead of living in faith. Man, faith's a hard one, I tell you. But the prescription for this is act as if your new identity is real. That's interesting. Stop seeking evidence. Assume the reality within yourself first. And sometimes you got to keep it quiet, because you can't share your pearls with swine, especially if you're in the family that has developed some of these habits, and you go running in and go, I got a new idea. Law's giving me a new life, and I'm going to change. And they're going to look at you and go, But you get to keep it in the chambers of your heart. And find people with a higher consciousness, a practitioner, a minister, somebody, a teacher that holds a higher consciousness that can say, yes, you've got it. Keep going. Keep going. That's why we come to a place like this. Oh, it's so beautiful when you definitely understand it. Ask yourself, what is one action I can take today that aligns with my new self-concept? Write it down, and you will embody the new identity. Put it on the refrigerator. Read it every day. Neville says, living in this fixed attitude of mind, living in the consciousness that you are now, that which you formerly desired to be, is the burden, unfettered by limitations of the past, and moving forward towards the embodiment of your desire. I hear Jonathan Livingston Seagull in my mind. I don't know why. Maybe we should all go watch that, because that is definitely a metaphysical movie. Taking flight, man. It just feels good. Saying, I am taking flight. Say that with me. I am taking flight. Man, that is your power. Closing thought. Will you take the prescription? Many people remain sick because they never take the medicine. Neville's work is a prescription. Holmes's work is a prescription. Ramana's work is a prescription. Every teacher's work is a prescription. You must pick it up and work it. The final affirmation I'll leave you with is, I am the high priest of my consciousness. I now release all attachments to the past. I accept my healing. I embody my new reality. I live in the freedom of the fulfilled desires. It is done. The choice is yours. Will you take the prescription? Will you set that second bird free? And so it is. And we are just going to quickly ground that in an affirmational prayer. I just know right here, right now, that the consciousness, the mirror of my mind, knows the truth of every divine being in this room, out of these walls, online. Any trouble, any problem is created in consciousness, and I just send the light of love through, knowing that it lands exactly where it needs to be, that it opens the recesses of our heart and embodiment, a new idea, a new thought about this community, about its members, about its people. It's open, it's inviting, it's coming in. And the same is happening for your life. That we take these teachings on and we push away any discordant thought and we say, not today. Today I am setting the bird free. I know the truth, and the truth always sets us free. I commit in this moment to embodying that truth, my new and highest idea, and living as it were so until the manifested world reveals it to me, which is now. It is done. It is done for you, no matter what you're going through. It is done for me. It is done for the world. It is perfect. It is here. And I release these knowing it is good. And so it is. There's no heaven.
It's easy if you
Try.
no hell below us. Above us only strife. Imagine all the people
Living for today.
Imagine no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us in this world living as one. Imagine no prayer. generations. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
Now that is a song that is exactly what we're talking about. We can change the world through a collective mind and sitting and knowing that. We had a beautiful artist here yesterday. Sabrina's going to talk more about it, so I don't want to steal her thunder. But I bought this little picture from him that said praying for peace. And it was this black and white with stars, and he had his peace pipe, and it just struck me that peace is already here. We must align to it. And when we do, through our collective consciousness, good things are the result of that. So, and as well, good things happen from your contributions to our center to bring things like our artist evening last night was so profound. And so any gifts that you give, the law of circulation, of course, if you're giving them with that new high idea of setting that bird free, it will always come back to you. But we give because we have, because it supports the idea of law. So I welcome your gifts, time, talent, treasures, any way you wish to support the community you love so that we can be here for you in new and bigger and profound ways. We accept gladly with a deep heart of appreciation. Please, let's anchor that with our affirmation. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. Thank you, life.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Don't have much money, boy, if I did, buy a big house where you could live. And if I were a sculptor, then again, no. A man who makes potions for a traveling show. No, it's not much, but it's the best I can do. Gift is my song, this one's for you. You can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in this world. I sat on a roof, kicked up moss. A few of the verses have got me quite cross. The sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you who keep it turned on.
Man. Spirit did it again. Like, that just lines up, doesn't it? Beautiful sky. I think we got this simpatico going on. Can you bring that, Usher, Pam, your beautiful service? Please come forward. How are you doing today? This is Pam. Isn't she beautiful? She's a volunteer. She sits on the board. She's amazing, a retired practitioner, and has a consciousness of good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I just know right here, right now, that the new and highest idea of our beloved community is that Spirit provides everything unto itself, and we are itself, so we wait with divine expectancy for the house that Spirit built to be fulfilled in all ways that are brought forth from our community. That we move into a consensus and to building a space where Spirit dwells and energy rises and people feel uplifted when they leave to carry them through their work week. And I just know that these gifts and the gifts that come in from all avenues, expected and unexpected, lift us up and support us in our mission. That we are here to raise the roof on consciousness, to embody a new idea, and to set the new bird free. We know this in truth. We embody it as the newest and highest idea. We believe it with love. And it just feels good. And I release these words into the law, knowing that they cannot be returned void, for it is good and always good. So it is.
So it is.
And I believe we have an affirmation, maybe a song. Let me read my notes. Oh, you know what? How can I forget Kathleen? I mean, come on. She's the most beautiful woman in the building, okay? I get a little lost when Spirit takes over. Please forgive me.
No worries.
Miss Kathleen.
Good morning. Anyone who is here for the first time and visiting with us, we'd love having you. And if you are comfortable, stand, tell us your name so that we can give you the CSLP welcome.
Don't be shy.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yes. And if you're a guest and you didn't stand, perfectly okay. But visit the bookstore after service, if you will, and find the section of previously read but much loved books. Take one that interests you, make it your own, and enjoy it. And then follow the group to Sibley Hall for conversation, coffee, pastries, and getting to know each other. This Thursday, the Power of 8 meets from 8 until 10. The Qigong class time moves forward on Wednesday. Today is the time change. Thank God we don't have it. The Qigong class time moves forward on Wednesday, March the 12th. And please meet at the Labyrinth at 5:30 to practice the movement part in the golden hour of sunset, and then move inside for a half hour of meditation. So from 5:30 to 6:30 is the total time, and the cost is $10 a session. The drumming circle meets the fourth Wednesday at 5:30, and the fourth Wednesday of March is the 26th. And Sabrina would like to make a few comments about yesterday's art reception, so thank you.
Oh, there. Thank you, Miss Hazel.
So I just want to, first of all, say that we had a wonderful event. Filmer Kiwanyama, a local Hopi artist, shared with us his work, which is really an embodiment and expression of the Hopi cosmology, the people of peace. I think we learned a lot from him. And I would like to, first of all, ask the volunteers who knocked it out of the park park. Anyone who brought food, who volunteered, who did service, to please stand. You guys did an amazing job.
Yes.
Please give them a big, big,
Oh.
big hand.
Amazing, amazing job. Thank you.
I could not do this. We could not do it alone. We came together. I had friends say, wow, I never saw such an open house. It was an open house. We invited guests. They accepted our hospitality with gratitude and grace, and we gave it with gratitude and grace. And I just am so grateful. We'll have another one in June, so be prepared.
Yeah, it was a success, right? Hold on to this. Thank you. Again, he had his art displayed, and some of those pieces just moved me to tears. I mean, as he was explaining how each painting came to him, and I didn't realize the depth of his stardom, celebrity, that some of his paintings are in collections in Europe and all over the world, and he was so humble and kind, and he is granting us some gifts, and he did donate a picture that they had an auction for, and there's going to be some proceeds that come back to us as a result of his sales, and this is how Spirit fulfilled. And Sabrina said to me, Tracy, have faith. And I did, and I walked into a beautiful, beautiful. So let's thank Sabrina. I bought some pictures that moved me, and we'll have them framed and hang them. There's one that I'm after called The Healer. He was out of it, and he was somewhere, went to do a talk, and they said, here's a piece of paper and some paint, and they gave him a straw, and he painted this beautiful healer, and it's the one that I really wanted. But he said, call him and he will get it for us. So we did purchase some of his art, some prints to hang so that we can remember that event. And also, when you look at them, they really do evoke a sense of wonderment and self. Also, too, I wanted to remind you, we do have the prayer wall where you can put gratitude, prayer. We're going to be changing the opposite wall to dreams fulfilled. But please, write your new idea down on a card and put it on the wall. Put it in the prayer box if you don't want it on the wall. Talk to a practitioner. But let's get that new idea of yourself rolling. And you can start with putting it there, because it's designed to pray as we go in and out for whatever's on the wall. We don't need to know it there to hold your highest idea. We just walk through and go, highest idea fulfilled. So I invite you into that. All right. All right, and here we go. See, I'm lost again, and I put it way down here. And I think it's time for Sky.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body,
and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life. Thank you for standing, and thank you for saving me. I appreciate it.
Yes, there's peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there's peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. God as creator, we're a family, blessed with each other in perfect harmony.